Welcome back to Danganronpa V3. It is time for the 5th class trial, and in traditional fashion before we do that, we are of course going to go over the evidence that we have. I got the right menu option the first time this time. So we don't know who the victim is. All we know is that it was discovered in the exisal hangar crushed by the hydraulic press. Could be Kokichi, could be Kaito, could be someone else. We don't know yet. For certain. There's a bloodstain that smeared from the hangar's bathroom to the hydraulic press as though something was dragged. So, we're presuming that the body was dragged from the bathroom to the hydraulic press, which is why there's a trail of blood there. But if we skip ahead and look at some of the information we found in the bathroom, if it's here, yeah, here. There was a small puddle of blood in the hangar's bathroom, and there were smaller bloodstains leading to the door on the way out of the bathroom, but they weren't swiped in the same kind of pattern as this bloodstain. So, someone was dragged from the door to the press, but walked to the door before that? I don't get it, but those two don't match up, and I feel like that's going to be important. Then we know the hydraulic press. Its controls are a short distance away from the device itself. There are two buttons labeled up and down. It has a safety function that's supposed to stop any humans or living creatures being crushed by it. The body crushed beneath the press was unidentifiable. So, I kind of made an offhand remark previously about how we tested the press to see if it was working, and it didn't stop when Kiba was under it. And I made an offhand remark, something along the lines of, well, what if he's actually a human? And that proves that the press is actually malfunctioning, and it could crush a human. And I'm feeling like I'm kind of going back to that and thinking more of it now, for a couple of reasons. But I'm not going to focus too much on that, because it is kind of an out there theory. So yes, the safety function uses infrared sensor to detect a living thing and stops the press if it does so. Infrared detects body heat, meaning that if something was dead, if a human being was dead already, then it wouldn't have stopped the press, which is how I'm thinking the crime was covered up, is that they were killed in some way and then crushed by that hydraulic press once they were already dead to cover up who it was who had died, or something like that. Okay, there were two exisals at the scene of the crime. One was in storage with its cockpit closed. The other was in the middle of the hangar with its hatch open and the cockpit exposed. There is enough space in the cockpit for one person. There is an electronic lock on the hatch that only the monocubs can open, unless you had a way to disable the electronic lock, like Kokichi with his electro bombs. These bits of evidence were in random order. Really random, actually. There were 3 arrows on the hangar's bathroom floor. The tips of all 3 are wet with blood. So there are 3 arrows. And if we skip ahead once again, Kokichi's clothes had 2 holes in them, and Kaito's coat had a 3rd hole in it. So they're all accounted for. We don't know what that means yet. We don't know who attacked who, if anyone attacked anyone. I presume they did, because there are crossbow bolts in their clothes. But that all seems to match up. There was a disassembled crossbow from the Ultimate Assassin's research lab in the bathroom. It was stored in a large black bag, and it was complicated to assemble and would be difficult for anyone who wasn't taught how, implying that Kaito put it together. But how did he get it? Well, we're thinking it was something was passed through the window. A window roughly 8 inches wide, although it's too small for a person, an object could fit through it. Okay, if it's 8 inches wide, then not even Himiko could fit through there. And this case is what we presume was passed through with the crossbow in it. A case that had a disassembled crossbow in it. The crossbow does not fit in the case unless it is disassembled, meaning that someone who passed the case through the door, or through the window, could not have put it together. And we pretty much know that it was assembled within the bathroom itself, meaning that, once again, Kaito is the most likely person to have assembled and used the crossbow. What else is there? There's a small empty bottle of poison found in the corner of the bathroom. The label is stained with blood, so the only visible word is poison. Determined to have come from the Ultimate Detective's research lab. And when we went there, we found More poison. There are many poisons lined up on the shelves in the Ultimate Detective's research lab. Out of all of them, only the Strike 9 poison bottle had less poison in it. It takes some time for the Strike 9 to fully take effect, but is 100% fatal even if a small amount enters the body. So, implying that someone was killed by poison. Okay. No one had seen Kokichi during the entire investigation or up until the start of the class trial, meaning he's probably going to pop up as soon as you go through that door. Hopefully he's got clothes on. And then there was the Exosouls. The day before the body was discovered, the Exosouls surrounding Monokuma in the courtyard were given commands to observe his movements via the remote control that Kokichi had. Why would Kokichi monitor Monokuma if he's the mastermind? Surely he has control over Monokuma. Leading me to believe that Kokichi isn't the mastermind, which actually I've already believed for quite a while. By these Exosouls there was a used electro hammer found on the ground in the cyber courtyard. Electro hammers can disable any electronic device they're used on, however they run out of power very quickly, and a single use on an Exosoul will completely drain an electro hammer. After being drained, they require 24 hours of charging to be usable again. So, whoever's electro hammer is out of charge could be implicated in this, but I have a feeling that there's so much random evidence that could point to one person or another that everyone's going to be implicated in some way, shape, or form. The hangar's front shutter is protected by an electric barrier, and if someone approaches it, an alarm will sound out through the academy. The alarm can be disabled with the alarm remote, which Kokichi had. The control for the electric barrier is next to the shutter. It has marks on it as though it was struck by something sharp. Previously I said I thought that the Exosoul... that someone damaged the control panel with an Exosoul, but why would they need to do that when an Exosoul can get through that door and past that alarm with no trouble? I think Kibo told us that. And Kibo also told us that the night before the body was discovered, Himiko was seen going to the hangar and coming back before the Exosoul's return. She had a black bag with her on the way there, but she didn't have it when she came back. We're presuming that's the same bag we found in the bathroom that had the crossbow in it, presumably. And the last piece of evidence we have is this electro bomb. When used, it can scatter particles that interfere with electromagnetic waves, rendering electronic communications and sensors unusable. That's what we use to disable the alarm and open up the door. It lasts for about 2 hours and covers an area of 50 yards. Each can only be used once, and of the 3 that were made, Kokichi had 2 and Maki had 1. Maki used hers. We're assuming Kokichi used 1 to get into an Exosoul, but that leaves 1 left over. I believe that's all the evidence that we have. One other thing is that the, I don't think it actually says it anywhere here, but the hydraulic press was disabled. Someone had cut the cable so that it couldn't be raised so that we couldn't see the body. I'm guessing since that's not really a truth bullet that it won't be that important, but it was just another way that the killer covered up their crime. So we've covered all the evidence. It's time to go through the red door. Hey fam for it, how you doing? Seen a lot of you recently.
Huh?
This isn't everyone, right? Kaito and Kokichi aren't here.
What's the point?
I bet Kokichi is already there.
You bastard.
As the mastermind of the killing game, he's waiting for us to arrive.
No.
We don't know that yet. There's a chance Kaito is alive.
Do you want to die?
Cut it out. Maki,
Well...
this is a battle between hope and despair. If I show any weakness like you are, then I know I'll lose to despair. Lose to despair?
You don't know?
6 of us will participate, and 1 of us will die after this class trial. Then, only 5 will be left. Only 5. That's right. We're the only ones left.
That's obvious.
We can't lose to despair. Even if we have no future, we need to win. That is the whole point of this class trial. I will defeat Kokichi, no matter what I have to sacrifice. No matter what she has to sacrifice? Are you sure about that, Maki? Is that what you call hope? I know that we can't lose to despair, but something is wrong. Something doesn't feel right. I wonder what Kaito would say at a time like this. What would he say to us? If it was Kaito. Let's go. No matter what Kokichi is scheming, there's no way we can lose. After all, we're students of Hope's Peak Academy.
You bastard.
I'll defeat Kokichi no matter what I have to sacrifice. We can't lose. Ah, Maki.
It'll be okay.
I'm fine. I'll be on my guard the whole time.
Right.
I'm filled with the combined power of hope and magic right now. That's right, Himiko.
Shuichi!
I understand you don't want to believe it, but Kaito's not here anymore. Ah, man. Can't believe there's only 5 of us here. Ah, alright, let's get to it then. We didn't say a word to one another. Silent as a tomb, we stepped into those open doors. Man. We had lost the will to live, knowing what we knew about the outside world. But somehow, despite that despair, we had found a new reason to live. To win the battle between hope and despair. But now, what do we know? We don't know what hope means to us anymore. What is hope? A burden you bear? As those thoughts pierced my mind, I suddenly stopped. I can't think about things like that anymore. The only thing I need to think about is survival.
That's nice.
Ah, a battle like this takes me back. After all, hope and despair are natural enemies. Yes, this is a truly magnificent theme. Only esteemed works of fiction have themes as magnificent as this.
Why?
Anyway, where's Kokichi? Why isn't he here? Maki was right. The person who should be here isn't. Well, I'll tell you once the trial starts.
What?
What's going on? What are you scheming now?
No.
It doesn't matter what Kokichi is scheming. This is the final battle between hope and despair. It all ends here. Kokichi can twist and violate the rules all he likes, but we'll never give up. Hope will never submit to despair. Oh, for the love of... No rules have been violated. Not on my watch, you know.
Shut up.
Whatever. Hurry up and start. We'll end this class trial. We'll defeat the remnants of despair, no matter what. So, get ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Now, let's get started. Mix equal parts life and death, add a dash of lies and truth, bake it in fires of conflict. And when it's golden brown and bubbling, you have yourself a truly decadent class trial. And once more, we faced a class trial. Was the one who died Kaito or Kokichi? I can't say for certain, but I still believe. Kaito wouldn't die so easily. I don't know why I believe that so strongly. But I will fight to prove it. I will fight with everyone. To grasp the hope on the other side of this truth. I will fight. I will fight in this trial of truth and lies. Sure, we'll save, why not? Oh, man. We don't even know who's dead. This is insane. This is actually crazy. Okay, so we only have 6 points to use, but I actually forgot that we unlocked Himiko's skill, but we just don't have enough space for it. After enough time, the correct truth billet will be shown. Wow, that seems like really overpowered, actually. I want to use it because we got it from Himiko, but that does seem like it will make the game a little bit too easy. I don't know, I do have those moments where I just completely blank though, and it would be nice to have it. But I don't know if I really want to get rid of anything else. I guess I could get rid of Delusion. It's nice, but... Or we could get rid of Machine Gun, because Machine Gun is like really not that useful, it's a bit of a luxury. If we get rid of it, we still... I pressed the wrong button. If we get rid of it and put Abracadabra on, just for Himiko's sake, really. Because I really like Himiko. Alright, let's get to it.
Now then, let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial.
Do we really need to do that at this point?
During the trial, you'll present your arguments for who the culprit is and vote for who done it. Vote correctly, and only the blackened will be punished.
Yeah, we really don't need to listen to
I'll
all
punish
this.
everyone besides the blackened, and that person will graduate.
Graduation is meaningless here. We already know that. We don't need your rules anymore. We'll find our own reasons to live. And we'll do whatever it takes to survive.
Man, Kibo is really riding that hope train right now.
Wow! An actual talking robot! I've never seen one of those before.
Seriously?
What happened to Kokichi? Why isn't he here?
Aw, don't make that face, killer. This case has some unique circumstances.
Unique circumstances?
Cause for this murder, the victim's identity is completely unknown.
Yeah?
Given these circumstances, I decided to start off this class trial while the victim is still anonymous.
This is ridiculous.
After all, it'd be a shame if I let such a rare opportunity go to waste.
Is that possible? I thought everyone had to participate in the class trial.
Don't worry, the person who's still alive is waiting behind the scenes for their cue. It's all part of the overall production. Anyway, let's get this trial moving.
I guess we have no choice but to start the trial under these conditions.
What's there to even talk about? The Blacken is the mastermind, Kokichi. Yeah,
Is it?
that's the only thing I can think of, too.
It's too soon to decide anything for certain. We don't even know if Kaito was the victim.
How long are you going to say that? The victim is Kaito. End of discussion.
But we need to be absolutely sure. If we don't positively identify the victim, the other person will never show themselves, right?
Right.
Before we can identify a suspect, we need to determine who the victim is.
Why are we even talking about something so obvious? What a pain.
Everyone thinks that Kaito is the victim, but I have my doubts. There's a chance that Kaito is still alive. If we keep discussing the case, I'm sure we'll see the truth. Alright, here we go. Let's do this.
The victim has to be Kaito. Kaito was taken prisoner by Kokichi,
That's true.
so he could have killed him whenever he wanted. And the hydraulic press had his clothes inside.
That's also true.
Kokichi can't be the victim because there's no evidence for it. So the victim
His
must
clothes.
be Kaito.
His clothes are the evidence.
And the culprit must be Kokichi. We lost a really good guy today. Kazing! If only mages could cast revive spells.
There's no evidence that allows us to confirm the victim or the survivor. It's too early to declare who the victim is. There we go.
That's wrong! I have evidence that points to Kokichi being the victim. I found this in the hangar.
Is that Kokichi's coat?
Yes, and look here. There are bloodstains on the sleeve. That would indicate that Kokichi suffered an external injury, correct?
Kokichi was injured.
The fact that these were flushed down the toilet implies that they are evidence of a crime.
What about it? Kaito's clothes were in the hydraulic press. As long as we have that evidence, there's no doubt that Kaito was the one murdered.
Oh man. Maki, why are you like this? This is so not like her at all. Is she doing this just so that she can get over it?
Yeah, that's right. It's one of those irrefutable evidence thingies.
Ever since she found the body in the hangar, Maki's insisted that it's Kaito's. But why is that? I thought we had an understanding. I thought she'd want to believe that Kaito is still alive. Either way, it seems Maki is hung up on Kaito's clothes. In that case, I need to demonstrate the flaw in relying on that evidence. If I do that, I think she'll realize there's a chance that Kaito is alive.
Actually, there's something bothering me about the clothes found in the hydraulic press.
Is he talking about the hole?
Yeah? What about them?
There's something peculiar about those clothes. The sleeve of the jacket?
That's it!
There's a hole in it.
Why was only the sleeve sticking
Oh,
out
is that
of
what
the
he's
hydraulic
going for?
press? If Kaito had been crushed by the press, the sleeve shouldn't have been empty.
Wait, he never wore that jacket properly though, right? He always wore it just over his shoulders. Did he actually ever put his arms through it? I don't think he did. But it does seem conspicuous in that it's just hanging out to say, hey, this is Kaito in here, guys. It's just odd.
There should have been an arm inside the sleeve as well. So the fact that we found an empty sleeve should...
Shall I kill that logic?
Oh, we're gonna have to do a rebuttal showdown against Maki. We're gonna get destroyed. Huh?
You're dumber than I thought if I have to go out of my way to explain it to you. If you can't even see that, then be quiet. Otherwise, you're just annoying me.
Oh man, she's gonna kick our ass. I don't know what's
The
gonna
coat
be.
sleeve sticking out of the hydraulic press. It's rather telling. It couldn't have been anyone else. But Kaito, if you can't see that, then you weren't looking hard enough.
I wasn't looking hard enough. What do you mean?
He always dressed himself in a rather odd manner. He never put his arms through his coat sleeves. So when the hydraulic press crushed him, all that stuck out was his coat sleeve. If you understand to be quiet already. Otherwise, you're getting in the way.
Maki's claim appears solid, but I know that it's not. She's wrong, but we can't conclude that Kaito is dead on that evidence. He must have had his arm in the sleeve because there's a hole in the sleeve.
He always
And it's
dressed
got blood.
himself in a rather odd manner. He never put his arms through his coat sleeves.
Oh, that's the
When
point I
the
need to
hydraulic
refute, isn't
press
it?
crushed him, you're getting in the way.
Oh, you get a little picture of Himiko comes up when you go over the right one. That's so cute.
He always dressed
Yeah, I
himself
guess
in a
we're
rather
going
odd
with
manner.
this then.
He never put his arms through his coat sleeves.
There we go. I need to try to get the V points on those, but I doubt we'll have another one, at least not for a while.
Yes, it's true. Kaito never put his arm through his sleeve. But that was just his right arm. He wore his left sleeve normally.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's why they made a point of it being his left sleeve.
Was the one we found outside the press.
It's got a hole in it. And a blood stain, right? So, if he was shot by the crossbow, it would have...
Knowing how Kaito wore his coat, that's awfully strange, isn't it?
Then maybe neither of his arms were through the sleeves.
Huh?
It's a possibility. In the end, your reasoning is full of holes.
It's funny you should mention holes.
Stop getting in my way. I have to defeat Kokichi.
Maki, what's really going on? It seems you've made up your mind that Kaito is definitely dead. But why would you do that?
It's like Maki said, though. Kaito's gotta be the victim. Because if Kokichi, the mastermind, was dead, the killing game would be over. Yeah, that's true.
Monokuma, hurry up and bring Kokichi here. We already know who the victim is.
Huh? Already? You sure it's not too soon?
Honestly, posing that statement to him right there puts him in a bit of a bind, because he either says, no, you're wrong, or yes, you're right, and brings forth Kokichi. He can't answer that question. He has to avoid it.
We need the suspect present, now that he's the subject of our discussion.
Gotcha. I guess I'll bring him out now.
Hmm.
Hey, Mr. Suspect! That's your cue!
That's what the door was for then. That's an exisal. That's not Kokichi.
An exisal?
What? Why is an exisal here?
Haha, whoops. My bad. Seems like I gave you guys a scare, huh?
What? What is this?
Is that Kaito's voice?
Kaito?
There was a lot going on, so I just hid in an exisal and kind of dozed off.
Honestly, that's believable.
That's why I'm so late. Anyway, what's going on, guys?
Oh, hold on. Then the one that died wasn't Kaito.
Stupid! That was just a lie! You guys thought I died? I would never! No way!
Kokichi?
I'm gonna live till I die. I'm gonna laugh instead of cry.
He's got a good singing voice.
Wow, that's old. How old are you?
I thought as much. Your appearance right now is fit for a lowly asshole like you.
Oof.
You're making me blush. You're getting so angry over me.
We know that Monokuma has access to the alter ego software. He used it in the last case to create the Gonta alter ego, so he could have just put that inside the exisal in some way, shape, or form to create alter egos for both Kokichi and Kaito and play us like this.
Is that really you, Kokichi?
That's right, Crackerjack.
Seriously, how old are you?
Then why are you hiding in there? Show yourself.
Oh, this is more for self-defense. Little Miss Cranky Pants would kill me if I showed myself.
That's probably true.
I understand how you guys must feel. You can't believe it because I'm like this, right? That's what I thought. In that case, I brought evidence.
Evidence?
Ta-da! The video camera. It was in the warehouse, but I brought it to the hangar, just in case. Man, that was a smart move. Thanks to this, I filmed it so everyone could see it clearly. The moment the victim died.
What?
What did you say?
Alrighty then. Let's watch this shocking moment.
Do we have to?
Hey, Monokuma. Can you connect the video camera to the monitor?
Roger that!
Monokuma grabbed the camera from the exisal, hooked it up to the courtroom's monitor, and played the tape for us. I mean, that looks pretty definitive, doesn't it?
Huh? Kaito?
something like this? I saw it through my fingers. The moment Kaito was crushed. I'm gonna...
By the way, I'd like to add that this footage has not been doctored in any way.
Right, yeah, we're supposed to believe you when you say that.
This video camera only has the basic functions. Just the play, record, and pause buttons, so you can't edit after filming it. And of course, I didn't upload it to a computer to edit it either. Right, Monokuma? Oh, you can talk. Your answer is necessary for a fair discussion.
I see. If it's necessary for a fair discussion, then I will answer. No trace of that footage was found on any of the computers inside the academy.
See? If it wasn't connected to any computer, then editing the footage would be impossible. Which means this footage is 100% real.
If that's the case, then it would seem our suspicions can be lifted.
Really, though? Is it that easy?
The body we found inside the hangar, crushed in the hydraulic press, is definitely Kaito.
The murder video has been recorded in the monopad. Was that really him?
Poor Kaito. I can't believe he died such a horrible death.
Wait, he was already dead, surely. He was already dead at that point.
I can't believe he died with his guts and his brains splattered all over that machine. Stop it! Now I'm starting to not feel well. That's probably because I used my magic to transfer all my barf over to you.
Oh, Himiko.
I know that's a joke, but the thought of it...
Why? Why was Kaito killed? Kokichi had no reason to kill Kaito. He had just told us that he was the mastermind, that the killing game was over. So what would he gain from killing Kaito?
It looks like you finally believe that I'm the one in this exasol.
Yes. With that, we can definitively say that the culprit is... you.
We can't say that. Just because he recorded it, it doesn't mean that he did it. There's still way too much more.
Huh? Why?
You filmed the moment the victim died, which means you were present at the scene. As the person who filmed this footage, you're the only one who could be the culprit.
But if the culprit shot the video, why would they go out of their way to show it?
Oh man, you got me! Yeah, I'm the culprit.
What?
Jeez, I totally dug my own grave. Here's the truth. I decided to participate in this trial in an exasol after I killed Kaito. Of course, it was mostly to make the victim unknown, to jazz up this trial. I took that footage for proof, so I could reveal it after you guys get the correct answer. But I totally spaced out. I wasn't supposed to show it right away.
So does that mean you admit to the crime?
Oh, man. I dug my own grave again? Well, I don't think you guys will believe any of the excuses I make now. So, I give up.
You're giving up? Does that mean it's been decided? Is it okay that this trial was so short?
That's fine. We knew from the very start that Kokichi was the killer. But before we vote, I want to say something to Kokichi. You may be the mastermind, but I won't let you escape after you violated the rules.
Violated the rules?
That would desecrate the killing game Junko and Oshima created, right? Your beloved Junko and Oshima.
Oh, he's going straight for it.
Junko?
Whatever. It's voting time now. Let's go before Kokichi changes his...
No, hold on a second. This isn't right.
Thank you, Shuichi.
The culprit comes in, confesses to the crime, and the trial ends? That's not how this goes.
Yeah, right.
That doesn't sound like the kind of game Kokichi or Monokuma or Junko would play.
What if the mastermind got tired of it? The remnants of despair were like that.
No, if they were tired of it, they wouldn't have put all that effort into the video. There would have been no need for this class trial in the first place. Something's not right. We need to get a better feel for the situation. I think Kokichi has some sort of plan. He's trying to trap us.
Trap us? Are you saying Kokichi isn't the culprit? Then, are you suggesting one of us is the culprit?
I don't know if it's that straightforward.
If it's not Kokichi, then the culprit must be one of us.
One of us? That's not possible!
No, I didn't say that. I was just saying it's dangerous to trust Kokichi.
Shuichi is so distrusting. But it's exactly like Shuichi said. I'm actually not the culprit.
Seriously?
What? But that contradicts what you said previously.
Yepers, that was a lie. Sorry, I lied again. The real culprit of this case is super bad at hiding themselves, so I thought I could help. I pretended to be the culprit by using the footage. It made the game more interesting, too.
Are you serious?
What's the truth and what's a lie? I don't know anymore.
Me neither, Himiko. We're gonna have to carry on this class trial of complete insanity and nonsense in the next part. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.